Hi, my name is Wahika and welcome to the Mental Wellness channel. If you're new here, welcome and please subscribe and like and share this video widely. Now today I'm going to talk about my degree and I've called it my 9-year degree because it has taken 9 years for me to finally get to the point that I'm at, which is I'm graduating finally. So I started my degree in 2011, March, no, May of 2011. And I came to this university. I'm not going to say the name, but I went to this university with bright eyes and, I had a spunk in my walk and I just knew what I wanted. And I was excited to be starting my degree in journalism. I also loved the fact that this university had flexible hours, so I could pursue my acting career, which I did. I booked MTV based Sugar by September of that year, and I also did a couple of other comedy shows and stuff like that locally. So my career was taking off, and I'd also been doing my degree. I was doing well in my subjects, and this was the first year, so 2011. 2012, I kind of started getting mixed up with people who drink more often than the average kind of people. So I got into that crowd and I started dating someone who drank a bit, quite a bit. And eventually I realized that I was being isolated from my friends. So I didn't have girlfriends around me anymore. It's kind of like his friends became my friends. And that's where the drinking escalated. And let me be very clear about this. I do not put any blame on any person about my alcoholism. I'm not an alcoholic because of a person. That's not true. So I don't blame this person in any way for my alcoholism. It's a disease that I have. And at that time, I did not know that I had it, but it was great to have company in which people really liked to drink more than the normal person. So I began to focus more on drinking and socializing. I also stepped back from my acting career. It was hard because I'd go to set and I'd be drunk, or I'd go to set and I'd be hangovered. And eventually I had to leave the acting industry, or rather, I chose alcohol than acting. And acting was really my first love. So I continued dating this person, and my drinking really escalated. I stopped going for classes because I was like, class is getting in the way of my drinking. Also, when it came to acting, I was like, acting is getting in the way of my drinking. Suddenly, everything became, a reason to drink. Suddenly, everything was, I can't do this because I need to drink. This responsibility I can't do because I want to drink. And so I tried I tried playing the game, and I tried just getting by. But by 2013, I was really not going to classes anymore. And the lecturers who had taught me in my first year were asking me, like, what's going on? You're always smelling of booze, you come to class late, you don't do your work, etc. And I thought they were the problem. They should just stick to their lane and leave me alone and let me be. So by 2013, the end of 2013, things got bad in terms of my drinking. And my parents started to figure out that, yeah, I think she has a problem or something is going on with her. I had also been evicted from 3 hostels, not one, not two, but actually 3. And the next option was now to move back home, which was another disaster. So 2014, that's when I officially dropped out of school. I remember the day I went with my mom to pick up my transcripts and just, end the degree. And the transcripts just said F's, F's, W's, W's meaning withdrawals, and fails. It was just F, 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 W, 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 incomplete, incomplete. And I remember feeling so bad. And my mom was really heartbroken. You know, my parents had really invested a lot into me and into this degree. And for them to see that for 2 years I hadn't been going to school, all I'd been doing was failing or withdrawing from courses, it was a really sad situation. By 2014, I was now just drinking full time. That's all I did. 2015 in March, I went to my first rehab. It was a horrible rehab because they used to really beat the clients. And we were not treated like human beings. We were being treated like we're criminals. And so all they did was put us on a bunch of antipsychotics, and I think they gave us something like an appetizer or something because we were constantly hungry. And I ballooned, I think I went from 62 kgs to around 85, 86 kgs in less than 4 months. And they shaved my hair, which was also very demeaning. Yes, my hair is shaved now, but that's because it's my choice. But then it was really demeaning, and it was a very traumatic experience. I mean, the women had to wear long skirts and blouses while the men had to wear suits every single day. And it was almost like cult-like. You'd stand and look at a wall and sing songs and hymns, and it was just a very strange thing, and it was not helpful in any way. So I got out, I would say mid-July, and I really tried to stay sober, but I couldn't, because the itch of alcohol, the cravings, the mental obsession was so incredible. I think I lasted maybe 3 weeks. And a friend hit me up, said they were at a bar near my house. I went, and I remember it was a gin. And I remember him opening it up. First we blessed the bottle, then opened it, and then he poured some in my glass, and he poured some in his. At the minute I consumed that drink, I knew it's a wrap. Wherever this night goes, it goes. And I followed that bottle, I went back to the university I dropped out of, because it has a lot of bars and quite a lively, vibrant nightlife. And I went there, and I was coming in and out of conscious. Like, that's when I started having blackouts, where I'm conscious and people, seem to be talking to me and stuff. But I wake up the next day and I don't remember how I got where I got. I don't remember how much I drank. I don't remember traveling from point A to point B to point C. Like, I have no idea. And beginning of 2016, it was the same thing. Just drinking. That became my life. Drinking, drinking, drinking. And again, in September, I went to another rehab. Um, this one was a bit better because they really treated you like a human being. However, it was all Bible based. And I couldn't get sober through the Bible. I really couldn't. It wasn't. I detested everything that had to do with God because I felt like God put me in the predicament that I was, and if there was a God, God should be able to get me to stop drinking, and He wasn't. If there was a God, He would help me, and He would he would just help my family because I kept breaking their hearts over and over again. So I never really wanted to hear the word God. It just it disgusted me. So I didn't last there long. I think I stayed for about 3 months. And the good thing about that place is they don't lock you up. I mean, if you want to leave, you leave. It's a 1 year program. And I knew I could not do 1 year. I knew it. I went back to my parents and I said, I can't do that program. And then I started living back at home. Again, I tried for a month or two, no, probably a month, to just keep sober. And this time I've changed, and I'll never do that again. I'll never drink again. I'll never do it. And I really meant it from the bottom of my heart. I really meant it that I really don't want to drink again. But I didn't understand what alcoholism is and the disease of alcoholism. You cannot get sober on your own. You just can't. And you cannot get rid of those cravings by yourself. You cannot get rid of the mental obsession by yourself. You really just can't. You need a program. And you need other alcoholics to help you get sober and to stay sober. So 2016, bad year. 2015, bad year. Actually, in 2015, that was my first suicide attempt. I don't remember much, but I remember taking all the prescriptions and all the medicines that I had been given from the first rehab, and they were all antipsychotics. I remember taking them all and just saying, I just want to sleep. And next thing I know, I woke up in a hospital, in HDU. I was tied down to a bed, and it was a lot of drama. So that was 2015. 2016, 2017, in the beginning was horrific. I started really experiencing the consequences of my actions. I remember sitting at a bar one day, and I think by this time I'd accepted the fact that I can't stop drinking. So I just went all in. I didn't try to fight it anymore. I didn't try to apologize for it anymore. I just did what my body and my mind wanted to do, and that was to drink. And so, beginning of 2017, I remember vaguely having this idea that I would love to go to Mombasa, I'd really love to do it. And in a blackout, the next thing I remember is that I was in a taxi full of strangers in Voi on my way to Mombasa. That episode scared the living hell out of me. Like, that was the first time I remember thinking of something but continuing to drink, and then ending up I don't know how many counties away. So I was in trouble. I had no money. I had the clothes on my back, and I had to make a phone call to my parents and say, I'm in Voi, I'm on the way to Mombasa, and I don't know how this happened. And obviously them not believing it. So I get to Mombasa, and then I say, you know what, since I'm here, since I'm here, why not just go to Watamu, thinking that Watamu was 30 minutes away. I took a matatu and it was 3.5 hours. By this time, really in withdrawals, and I am shaking, and I have the dry heaves because I'm hungover and I'm withdrawing from alcohol. I get to Watamu, and by 5 or 6 o'clock, I don't remember what time it was, I got to the beach and I sat there and I looked at the ocean and I just thought, we have royally just messed up. Like, I can't believe this is where I am. I have no money. I know nobody here. What am I going to do? But God is good, and a friend of my mom's who lives in Malindi agreed to take me in that night, and I stayed with her until I was able to come back to Nairobi, and I really thank God for her. When I came back to Nairobi, I was now getting scared of what alcohol can really do to me. I started realizing the dangers of drinking and having blackouts, and where I would end up and what would happen to me. Eventually, they had an intervention for me, my parents, and there are these two people, one an addict and one an alcoholic, and they talked to me about their stories, and for some reason I believed them, and I believed that they were able to help me. So I moved to Eden House in Parklands, and about 9 months sober, I remember my dad calling me, and I was lamenting to him that I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know where my life is going. I mean, I'm just sitting here and I don't know what to do. And my dad said, you know what, I think you should go back to that university, and I think you should go and finish your degree. I was like, this is like a sick joke or something. Do you remember what that university did to me and all the things that happened there? Like, I really cannot go back there. And he told me, you know what, Wahiga, I have faith in you and I believe that you can do this. If you just focus and keep doing the program that has kept you sober for this long, I believe that you're going to make it. And because I believe so much in my dad and I trust him so much, I clung to those words and I went back. I went back to that university, and I was petrified every day that I went, because I was like, am I going to come home sober? Am I going to leave here sober? And by God's grace, I did. I bumped into a few old drinking buddies, and they could see the change. They could see the change, but it didn't deter me from what I was there to do. And I just finished my degree work. I handed in my coursework and I found out that I have passed, and that means that on the 26th of September, I will be graduating from this university with a BA in journalism. And that's why I call it my 9-year degree. It has taken so much time. It has taken so much effort. It has taken courage. It has taken the love of my parents, the belief in my relatives that I can do this, to get me to this point. And most importantly, it is the testament that God can do and is doing for me what I can't do for myself. I tried to stay sober and I couldn't do it by myself. God is always doing for me what I can't do for myself. And I'm so grateful to my higher power that after fighting for so long, almost a decade, that finally I've been able to complete something that was really important to me. And so I just wanted to share that. I hope this gives hope to anyone that is just under the weather and does not believe that things can happen for them. I believe that HP, or a higher power that looks after you, your creator, is able to do things for you that you cannot do for yourself if only you surrender. And I completely surrendered. My first surrender is when it came to alcohol, and it's a constant thing. I've surrendered to my mental illness, and that there's really not much I can do about it, and God takes on the work. And that's just how it works. So thank you for letting me share. I hope that you find some hope and some peace in this. And I'd like to ask you to please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you so much. Bye.